Okay, we are live. Oh my God, people are
Hello.
watching. Hi, folks.
We're doing this thing.
It's very exciting. Okay. So I'm just muting it for now. All right. We've got the welcome, folks, to all who've joined us. It's nice to see you all here. We're going to be watching this as it happens. And I see, oh, look, the Supreme Court is coming in right now. This is very exciting.
It's
Let's
really
see
not that
what happens to
exciting.
them. It's thrilling.
That's what I have to say about that.
Okay.
Okay, so this chamber looks notably empty, yeah?
Yeah. There's a lot of Democrats missing.
Right, which we knew. Um,
Yeah.
we knew was going to be the case, but the kind of thing I kind of watch for. I'm going to start with some content, and we'll
Okay.
just evolve
I'm going
out
to
of this,
lower the
right?
volume here in case that's working.
Yeah, I can't hear yours, so I'm going to be reading this just to add an
Okay.
additional uh layer of interest. If something is really auditorily can't miss, I'll pull up my PBS feed here. In case people can't tell, we are patching this tech together. Um, so I do think like one thing I kind of watch for is like what is the obvious thing that is going to be fed to the media tomorrow morning as a story, and empty chamber is like a pretty easy story.
Yeah.
Is an easy headline. So I think that's something to kind of think about, and it's already um, voting a little bit better for the Democrats um, than those placards last year, which I had repressed until someone reminded me recently. I had fully repressed the memory of that speech last year, but the
Oh,
placards, it all came flooding back like a
well, now
like
now I have to
a
make a
panic
placard.
ritual
Okay. Yeah.
nightmare. You have to make a placard?
Yeah, that seems important.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
There are no rules anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Someone has expressed a wish that we will provide sanity, and I don't know that I wanna commit to providing sanity. I'll do my best to provide whatever little
Does that work?
pointless
I mean, I don't even know.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
Okay.
Seth is holding up a not normal placard, which is actually not the first time he slipped that note to me. Uh, I was like, "You're being real weird right now. Please stop talking." Um, that's what friends are for.
Yeah. Celine, or who wrote that? Cicely Tyson, did she sing that?
Uh,
No, it's Dionne Warwick. Dionne Warwick, my bad.
I'm sorry, we really went down a rabbit hole there. I was actually about to say Carole King, so did she write that?
Okay. She wrote You've Got a Friend. Um,
Okay.
Different story. Okay. Oh, look, I see Trump descendants in the house there.
Yep.
When was the last time you saw Barron? It's been a long time since I've actually seen him in real life.
He he was 8.
Okay.
I was just thinking that, like, I don't know that I've really seen him as an adult.
Yeah.
Um, so not necessarily someone who seeks out a lot of visual content, so that might not be indicative. There was a really interesting story about the different guests that people were bringing, which was another thing Democrats were doing, where it seemed like they had kind of upped the ante, as far as the kind of, protests within the bounds of
Yeah.
doing State of the Union things within
It
the
sounded like
forum.
there were maybe more Democratic guests than actual Democrats in the chamber. Um,
Maybe.
Seemed like half of them were boycotting and half were bringing very provocative guests. And
Them are doing both, I think,
yeah.
in some way, shape, or form, or spending time with provocative guests. There was a lot more kind of symbolism going on.
Mhm.
Friend of the blog, Lily Gordon, informs us that Bering has been around and that he's very tall. How tall?
Okay, very good. How tall is he?
That's what's really important. Oh, there's the Secretary of State
Uh-huh.
slash archivist, right? Slash he has a number of different jobs. They were just talking about that on the Wall Street Journal about how
Uh,
Rubio has a bunch of different
Ruby has like
jobs.
five cabinet positions or something.
Yeah. Well, I didn't catch much of the earlier feed of, actual Lily says he's very tall. Um,
Okay,
I
it's good to
was
know.
not I didn't catch a ton of the pre-commentary because we were hammering out our tech issues, but, um, it strikes me that, like, the dominant frame of the last decade has been, "Here's how this normally goes. Here's what's happening," and, like, the State of the Union is one of the really key moments for that, and I
Mhm.
wonder I started wondering if there's a different way to attack it. It's certainly I've been guilty of that too, so this is gonna be, like, my meta commentary I'm gonna be rolling
Like,
over in my head.
so you're doing something different. Here's what would be happening on Earth Prime right now, and then here's what's happening in our version. We're gonna
Yeah,
try
I
and
don't
steer away
know.
from that. Okay.
Or, well, I don't know. I'm not saying you have to steer away from it. I don't know that live at 8 p.m. my time while I'm drinking a beer is where I wanna pioneer my new paradigm of how to talk about the Trump administration, but I just thought I'd bring that up since it's more interesting than probably my usual fashion commentary that I do.
I have a protocol question for you if you're familiar with this. My impression is that this event is actually it's Congress's event, right? Congress
That's correct.
invites the president.
That's correct.
Um, Congress invites the cabinet and the Supreme Court, presumably, and any presidential guests are relegated to the gallery, right? Like the president himself cannot invite people. Am I correct on that?
I think that's right. These are the sorts of procedural questions I don't
Yeah,
actually know. It is Congress's event.
right.
Um, but the president when Reagan invited that person, um,
Drinking.
what was that about? Okay, what are you drinking, Mascot?
I am drinking Michter's Straight Rye.
Okay.
I'm mixing
Wow.
with
All
nothing
right.
tonight. Yeah.
You're not
We've had a
sober now.
request here for lots of 90210 references. I'm going to do my best on that.
Okay. We're both gonna do our best on that, but it's yeah. I don't know if my best is gonna be good enough. Um I also feel like I should tell people that if you're watching this with your children and your children don't know the F word, that maybe you should put headphones on because I don't
Who would be
plan
watching
on
this with their
being
children?
polite. I don't know. I don't know who I don't know. I don't have children. I don't know what's acceptable
Oh,
these
look,
days.
someone's doing an RFK selfie there. That's great. Okay.
Who was doing an RFK selfie?
A member of Congress just grabbed RFK and did a selfie with him.
Mm. What would you do if you encountered RFK Jr. in that and just passed him on the street?
Run, I think, out of fear he might run me over and then eat me for dinner.
That's rational. I was gonna say something about measles.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Um,
Oh, there's Chief of
or
Staff Susie Wiles.
yep,
Um,
and
we've both been
DHS.
writing about her recently. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd written about her before, saying that
Mm.
I thought she wasn't really fulfilling the typical chief of staff role. Um, but apparently that's not necessarily true.
Mm.
Okay. Lily says the president invites people to hang with the first lady. We should have just invited Lily to come on with us. Although I think the
Yeah.
tech with 3 people might have killed us. All right.
we're we're pushing things pretty hard as it is.
Right, exactly. That was touch and go, and I apologize about my light, folks, but this is just that I have a better light in a box on the floor next to me that I haven't opened, and that is 2026.
A ring light for you.
Um, I don't wanna talk about my ring light.
All right. Uh, Sore
It's like
subject.
in
I'm not gonna press it.
it's like in pieces in my office on campus.
There, of course, is DHS Secretary Kristi Noem
Yes.
getting some hugs. Yeah. So, yeah, what would you say? The Democratic side is maybe half full, three quarters full. It's hard to
I
tell.
can't tell. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I got distracted by Kristi Noem's beautiful locks. I don't wanna make fashion commentary, I'm just telling you honestly
And we could
What's
just
happening in my
we can just stipulate she has amazing hair. That's fine. Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Better than
also
Donna Martin and Brenda Walsh put together. There.
oh,
Got
no.
that
I'm so
reference down.
sorry. No.
What are you drinking, if I may ask?
Drinking, some sort of Czech Pilsner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Urkel?
No, it's not an Urquell,
Oh,
it's a
okay.
Czech style, I think it's a domestic Czech style
Got it.
beer. Yeah. After we went to Prague, my husband has been very enthusiastic about trying different Czech style Pilsners. I actually like a Czech style amber, I'm not gonna lie. I think this
I
is
don't know if I've
definitely a
had one of
content
those.
people came
Okay.
from. Yeah, I didn't have any in the Czech Republic, but I've had one since
Oh,
in Milwaukee. Um, oh, wow, there's a lot of people on here.
I know. We got a good crowd here. Thank you all for joining us. This is a great way to watch the State of the Union address. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I don't let's not keep raising the stakes here. We've got sanity, we've got
This is
great. I'm like, I promised mediocrity and staying awake for at least an hour. Um, okay, so Greg Coker is concerned there's no age verification for this stream and asks if he should log off. So, on the one hand, Greg, yes, I really would have thought you had something better to do with your
yeah.
night. On the other hand, it is I wanna say, as one of my colleagues logs on, I wanna say very emphatically, this is not that kind of, stream.
No, this
Are we
should be pretty
dropping
fucking safe
F-bombs?
for children, I think. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, your kids are gonna learn this eventually, so they might as well learn it in the
Yeah.
safe space of watching the State of the Union. Um,
Oh my God, what happened to his hair? He's just walking in. Okay.
Jesus. Oh my god.
Yeah, someone just go in there with a little saliva and a I don't know.
So this is something I think is rather important, to note about Trump, which is the man has a lot of cabinet members. He does not have any friends. I
I
think,
think
uh,
yeah. I mean, he's got people
well,
he talks to all the time, right? People will call him, he'll call people.
'cause he's the
I,
president.
like who does he hang out with when he's not presidenting? I don't know if that's even an appropriate answer.
Yeah, I don't know. All I
Yeah.
know is I'm pretty sure that if my hair looked like that on national television, you or Lily or Greg or one of the many lovely people on this thing would flip over that sign that says "not normal" and send me a little sign that says, "Please
Right.
fix your
Yes.
hair." Like, holy
Out of
Christ,
curiosity,
Azari,
does this
what are you
appear
doing?
backwards?
No,
Oh, okay. Okay, good to know.
I can
Oh, and
kind of
someone's
read it.
whispering to him, dude, your hair is messed up. I think that's what they're saying right now.
Is that Mike Lee?
Just-
No,
yeah.
no.
Is that? I don't think. No. Okay. Shockingly, he's wearing a long red tie.
I'm hyperventilating over this cow lick. This is the cow lick heard around the world.
If this is the worst thing that happens tonight, yeah, it'll be all right. Uh, so he's coming in with a congressional, it's like a welcoming committee, right? That's Steve Scalise right behind him.
Mhm. Alright, more selfies, and still no one fixing the hair,
Yeah.
just a little hair.
Just a
Just oh
modicum.
god.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like it's a metaphor.
Laura on the site says he obviously did not see himself in the selfie. Otherwise, he would have fixed his hair. I think that's an excellent observation.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
look, this imagery matters.
This is actually like a good test of presidential power here. Like, who would actually tell the president, dude, your hair is messed up before he gives his speech? I'll bet. Oh, is he talking to any of the justices? No.
Oh, yeah, I'm
No.
wondering, are we
Old.
gonna have a repeat of the remember Obama in 2010 after Citizens United?
Yeah. And was it Alito or Scalia who got pissed off at him? I think it was
Oh, it was
Alito.
Alito.
Yeah.
Alito.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that
As I
was the
understand,
begin
Alito hasn't come back to a SOTU since then, if I'm not mistaken.
that I don't remember,
Okay.
but I feel like that was the beginning of the end of, like, the way people acted during Obama speeches.
Mm, yeah.
Okay. Greg says the congressional escorts were announced a few moments ago.
Okay.
We're, like, the least qualified people to be doing this, Seth. Why are people here listening to us? Should let Greg and Lily do this.
People trust us.
It's the
I'm not
Grace
saying that's
Roasters.
earned. I'm just saying that's the way it is. All
Are
right.
you supposed to
Here's a
stand next
test.
to the podium and point at people? No. I'm just gonna say no. What? Here,
Will the
okay.
Speaker of the House actually welcome him, or will he just start speaking as he did once or twice during his first term? Because again,
What?
remember, this is Congress's event. Congress is technically in session at this point.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm. I think Lily asked before about the length on this thing. It's supposed to be a pretty long speech from what I was hearing on the pregame.
I
Um,
also heard that. It's ironic that these people hate academia so much because a 2.5-hour State of the Union is a total academic move. Um, and I will say, Lily, this is optional. You can log off, I can log off. I might have 75 minutes. To me, this is like an undergraduate lecture. The 2.5-hour graduate seminar, I don't know if I signed up for that.
yeah, that's rough, man. Oh, there's John Hickenlooper in the background. Important to Coloradans. Uh huh.
Why is he just tooling around? This is really bothering me.
All right, I'm cranking
Yeah,
up the sound a
Lily, I know
little
you
bit
need to
on this.
talk about it tomorrow morning on the radio. I am really, excited to hear what you have to say. So you do have to stay up the whole time. That sucks.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. Usually doesn't mention her in the opening. Am I correct on that? Eh.
Yeah, because it's an address to Congress, so it's not really an address
Right.
to the I mean, it's become less and less Congressy over the last 45 years or so,
Well, yeah.
which again
No,
is really a Reagan thing.
yeah.
I don't know, I'm totally dependent on the closed captioning. This is an
Oh, okay.
interesting way to watch this.
And good night. I mean, that would right.
Are we drinking every time someone mentions the Declaration of Independence? Because we're probably
It's gonna be a
gonna
rough
be
night.
sober. It's gonna be a sober night, probably.
All right. Democrats not impressed with these opening lines. I don't know if we're here to fact check, but pretty much none of those statements was true.
About a turnaround for the ages?
No, just that there was rampant inflation when he took office, that there was rampant crime, and there were no borders. Oh, wait,
Right.
what's happening? We got a protest of some sort here.
It's Al Green again. He got kicked out last year for waving
Didn't
his
make it very
cane. He
long.
also is a perpetual Trump impeachment enthusiast.
Yes.
Um, yeah, he's
Looked like another member of Congress grabbed his sign. Am I wrong on that?
I missed that. I don't know what I was looking at, but the wrong
Hmm,
thing clearly.
apparently.
Um, so one of our colleagues has asked who's giving the response, and the answer is Abigail Spanberger of Virginia. But if this is 2 hours long, y'all are on your own.
And I should
The
have.
roaring economy is roaring like never
Oh,
before.
yeah.
Don't interrupt my poetry, Mascot.
Okay, sorry. I've interrupted your poetry like never before.
I'm gonna make my own sign. You're not gonna like it. So again, I didn't log on to live fact check, but I saw
Right.
something from the migrations, like the Migration Policy Study Institute, which is nonpartisan fact, um, immigration kind of think tank, and they have a piece that pretty roundly fact checks this idea that the Biden administration just did nothing on immigration, which I think is worth bringing up because I think like people outside MAGA world sort of repeat this. And they had
Right.
there were like 800 different laws or not laws, rules that came out of the Biden administration around um, different policies surrounding immigration, many of which were actually curtailing and limiting asylum seeking. Like if you look at the Biden administration's policies and rhetoric on immigration, it's significantly more conservative than like the George W. Bush or the Reagan administration.
Am I correct that most of that comes in like the last year and a half of Biden's term? That
I
there
don't have
actually was a lot of relaxation of restrictions, but then he kind of ramped it up when there was a lot of complaints about a crisis going on at the border and that it would hurt the Democrats in the next election and so forth.
I think that's right. I don't have it all kind of in front of me. They did relax
Okay.
some things because of the way that the Trump
Right.
administration had ramped them up. Um, but their rhetorical story about specifically about people coming to the border and presenting themselves for asylum was always very conservative. It's pretty
Hmm.
striking.
Hmm.
Sorry, I'm distracting us from the text. No, that's not correct.
No.
Or like maybe numerically it's correct, but
1.7%
prices are
in the
so
last
high.
quarter of 2025. Maybe? Okay. I mean, I could actually fact check that.
Yeah. Lily thinks he's wrong. But at any rate, I mean, I don't know that anyone would have done this differently, but prices are not gonna come down, and that's gonna be a political problem for anybody. All right, you fact checking.
Yeah. Um, US inflation in the fourth quarter of 2025 rose 2.9%. Core was 2.7. Okay, so he was not telling the truth. It wasn't terribly high, but it was not true.
Right. Was
Yeah.
it was like 6% in like 2023, right? And it was
Mortgage rates are the lowest. Mm,
which again is about when they went up.
sure.
So this is sorry, go ahead.
I mean, if you're going to increase the supply of housing and the prices of it, that whatever supply demand.
Right, and it's gonna be a
Yeah,
wash.
yeah.
Um,
Everybody's up.
well, I mean, everybody who already owns property is up. This is something I've been kinda thinking about.
Yeah,
Been thinking about a lot of these topics because 'cause I'm teaching this class called The Divided States of America that we're talking a lot about generational divide and,
that's a good class title, by the way.
thank you. It's never really been clear, like, what the class is about, so I'm just kinda making it up as I go along, unlike my other classes, but, um, the thing about the we, did a little bit from Kevin Munger's book on the generation gap, which is really interesting, and the
Mm.
baby boomers, and, like, you think about these policies like 401ks, homeownership, like, this only works if you already own something. It's a sort of deceptively simple point, and that is always gonna have a generational and age component to it, but it especially kind of sharply does now. Okay, thousands of new businesses.
He says we're the hottest country in the world. I didn't think he was going to touch on the environment so quickly, but that's really good.
Right, like we're a club. I guess people are lining up to get in and we're turning them away. So
That's a nightclub,
I'm sorry.
so we're a great nightclub.
Right. I'm sorry. That really was in poor taste and this is not gonna get better. Nobody can believe what they're watching. That is a factual statement. My new friend and partner in Venezuela.
Uh huh.
The American natural gas production in that chamber is quite high.
Hi-oh.
Okay, but like the thing about all the comparisons with the Biden administration is not so much like are the numbers correct or not, which sounds like most of them aren't, but the point is more that like at a certain point you can't just keep running against the past administration. And if that's your
I
only
mean,
talking point, I guess you can.
he's still running against Obama. I mean, he's
There we go. We ended DEI in America, so
yeah.
correct.
We ended DEI.
And yet I'm still here.
Lifted is doing a lot of lifting there, but okay.
He's gonna say it. Gonna say it.
Question for you: how many presidents have said it is not strong?
Um, I don't know.
Like even George W. Bush in
Yeah.
2002, he
Yeah.
said
That
something. He like acknowledged the moment. I remember that. He didn't.
yeah.
He said we're coming back or something like that. But
Yeah. I mean, they don't always say that, but they usually say something in the kind of vicinity of that.
oh,
Um,
what's he complaining about?
I don't remember off the top of my head what Bush said in 2002. Ashley says, Gerald Ford in 1975 did not say that. Um,
He's
I
doing an
think
odd thing
Amistad
right now.
what's he doing?
He's talking about all the people complaining how much winning there is. Oh boy! So he's bringing them in now. Here comes the hockey team. Excuse me, most of the hockey team. Some of them refuse to attend.
I don't know what placard is really adequate for this. Um, I mean, and the symbolism of this has already been kinda locked in, right? That the men's hockey team,
The men are there.
the men are there, the women are going to Vegas with Flava Flav, is my understanding.
I think
Um,
so. By the way, there are a lot of American athletes won gold. This is a very specific team he invited.
yeah, yeah, where's Alyssa Liu? Hmm,
See our Canadians on our feet are upset by this moment, which, I mean, buckle up. The night's just getting started here.
right. Well, I feel a blog post about spectacle coming on.
I mean,
Like, there's not much you can say. There's the men's hockey team.
it is amazing moment that
Great.
right now Las Vegas appears classier than the State of the Union address.
Right, Las Vegas and Flava Flav is the serious that's the thinking person's party.
Yes.
Um, I think, Karen, the answer, Dr. Siebold, is yes, you should have another drink and go to bed.
This is
Okay.
a pretty long ovation for hockey players at a State of the Union address.
It is, this isn't even like a top 4 sport, is it?
Oh, you're going to piss some people off
Sorry
with that, but okay.
sorry, Canadians, but it's not. I'm sorry.
Polite golf clap from the athlete in the back there.
So somewhat this is just begging for someone to make a heated rivalry themed State of the Union video. Y'all know where to find me. Okay.
He's still talking about the hockey team, by the way. I'm just going to mention.
Yeah, I know. Matt Lebo is one of my very favorite, Canadians is gonna get worked up here, but is he gonna say all their names?
We mentioned one of them. It would be great if he brought every athlete from the Olympiad on here.
Right. This is like the State of the Union equivalent of when you show a movie because you forgot to write your lecture. Like, you know, it was somewhere on my to-do list. I was supposed to get one of the speechwriters to write this speech. I forgot. So let's just name everyone on the hockey team.
He's still talking about hockey. This is
So he's doing a sports interview. This is why it's gonna be 2.5 hours long. He's
yeah.
asking people how you play hockey. Even I know that. Yeah, just tell us you forgot to write a speech, it's fine.
I think that was clear. What?
Gonna give him a,
He's giving them the frickin' Medal of
thingy.
Freedom?
That's the thing. Thank you.
Well, okay. That was the award he sullied by giving to Rush Limbaugh in his first term.
Right, so this is yeah, this is all done.
He's giving the award to, was it the whole hockey team or just this one player?
I don't know. I'm closed caption dependent, and I keep getting distracted because our commenters are funny, possibly funnier than we are. Definitely funnier than the speech, and also, frankly, more substantive. So
Personal story.
okay. Yeah, tell us the story about
When I
your
worked
hockey playing.
when I worked in President Clinton's Office of Letters and Messages, I occasionally drafted citations for the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't remember giving one to a hockey player. But,
No?
you know,
Never?
Now he's advertising these summer games. All right, is anyone keeping track of how many minutes he's devoted to hockey?
Probably someone is. Um, okay.
Oh. So he's saying Los Angeles will be safe for the Olympics, just like DC is now safe. So he's suggesting he's putting soldiers on the ground in LA,
Yeah, LA.
maybe.
That ought to go well. That ought to go well.
Huh? Okay. Good promotion
That is
for sporting
exciting.
events here.
Exciting news. Exciting news. Okay. Okay. Um, it's been it's been
Oh,
a half an hour and we've talked about sports, so not even in a substantive way. Okay. Now we're doing World War II. Do you know who
yeah.
we fought in World War II? Does anyone remember?
We were buddies with Russia then. So
Yeah, fair. Okay. Who were those enemies, Donald?
there's an actual World War II veteran in the crowd. Okay. Honestly, kind of impressive.
Yep, absolutely. Happy birthday, sir.
Anyone from the Boer War here?
Thank you, sir, for
Wait.
your service defeating Nazis.
Much appreciated, sir. We could use your services again.
Yeah, are you busy? So this is like a lot of the icing and no cake.
Well, he mentioned all the fun stuff at the beginning, right?
Like the border
Immigration
and
good, inflation good, blah blah blah. Now let's talk about hockey.
right. The girls' summer camp. I don't
Wait,
want to know where that's
how's
going.
this?
Oh, it's
Wait, did he invite?
that flood that happened last year.
Yeah, he invited
T-
one of the people who didn't die in the flood, or no? Wait, the rescue person.
Okay. So he's doing just the guests. We're gonna have
As
2 hours of Trump's favorite people.
usually the guests are brought in to accentuate a part of the president's policy plans, right?
Correct. They're brought in
And
to
this is
make a
just,
point.
yeah, this is just sort of it's special guest night.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Uh, this is him. He brought people to safety. Okay.
Right. Okay. Thank you, sir.
That's
But
good. Good
also,
thing.
what are
Is
we
that
doing?
one of the girls he rescued? Is that the plan here?
Yeah. So a couple people are commenting about this, and this is a pretty serious point, which is that FEMA funding hasn't been a strong suit of
No.
this administration, and disaster preparedness in general, I would say, is a weak spot of our country in general, and it's not equal across parties. So this might not be, if we're going to think about this in
Yeah.
terms of issue ownership.
That was also one of Kristi Noem's first scandal as DHS secretary. There's the lack of preparedness there and a lack of response. But he's trying to own it, praising some heroes. It's pretty standard.
Sure. Like you said, it's usually
Uh,
part of a larger narrative of, I mean, what the speech is for. I think it's worth noting as we're 35 minutes in,
wait, he's getting an award,
he's getting an award. This is usually not an award ceremony. There's nothing wrong with an award ceremony, but that's
right? Awards are
usually what
fine. Yeah,
you usually tell people that's what it is. Um, and you don't have to be invited to Congress for that. And the purpose of this speech is for the president to ask Congress for things.
right. And
And
to
that's
delineate his priorities. Um,
But
all right.
really, it's to delineate the priorities and not just delineate them, because you could do that from the Oval Office. The point of going to
Mhm.
Congress, you're asking Congress for things. I am not getting off this soapbox. That I am just getting started. Um,
Here's the thing: this is a president who doesn't actually want much from Congress, right? I
correct.
mean,
He
his
doesn't.
his whole second term has been. I mean, other than the big beautiful bill, he's largely ignored Congress
Correct.
and possibly could have gotten tariffs through them, but doesn't want to do that. So, which makes the State of the Union address a kind of an odd exercise, and this is why it's now an award show.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, that's been kind of the weird thing is like even. I mean, our most sort of, executive power focused presidents have wanted things from Congress, and even. I mean, do you remember? I think it was Barack Obama's last State of the Union. He sort of had, like, it was, like, the most dejected presidential speech I think I've ever heard, where he was like, "I've given up on us all having really anything in common, but maybe we can agree on this one little thing." Um, and it was pretty passive aggressive. It was some fine upper Midwesternness, but, um, it but even under these circumstances where it's like Congress hadn't given him jack shit for 6 years, and he knew they weren't going to, he went through the motions of asking and used asking to make this larger point.
Hmm.
But it's like, that's the purpose of this is that you're looking at Congress and asking them for things, even when, much of the time you know that you're not going to get them. And Trump has just completely ignored Congress, um, and the concept of asking them for things and has treated executive orders like royal decrees. Okay, now
Okay.
he's going on the attack. I'm gonna pay attention.
Um, he did say no tax on tips. He's really proud of that one.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, we can debate
Interest
about
on
the
auto
policy, but it's like a
loans.
debatable policy. Interest on auto loans only if the car is made in America. One of our readers points out the tax on tip thing is not true.
Okay.
Um, policy is not different. Um, it's changed, but not in a as straightforward. I mean, nothing in the tax code is ever as straightforward as
No.
you need to complete, even in a 2-hour State of the Union. Um,
So he's highlighting someone who pays less in taxes now,
yep.
because there's no
Okay.
tax on tips.
Okay, but if he doesn't give her the Medal of
That's
Freedom,
her.
I'm
There
going
she
home.
is. There she is, not paying some taxes.
Where's her medal? This is our Donna Martin graduates moment, Seth. Medal of Freedom for Megan. I'm sorry. This is not how I envisioned my career going as a presidential scholar. This is not at all what I had in mind.
What?
It was named by a very tall man.
I'm just saying where I'm really not understanding what someone's saying. I find I squint as though that will help. I wonder if that's a
Does
natural
it?
human reaction. It has not yet, no.
Um, what?
It's the American dream, selling computers out of your dorm.
I knew some people who sold computers out of their dorm also. Made a lot of money. You had to know who to buy computers from.
Yeah. There's no, I mean, certainly no store to sell computers.
I don't know if this is not for public consumption, but I'm not the one who worked in the computer store and was president of the computer club. So
What are you saying?
I'm saying, why aren't you at the State of the Union right now being praised for your early computer prowess,
I was selling computers before it was cool.
selling computers out of your dorm room? Computers were really popular in my dorm too. Now the kids just get their computers and dummies.
Oh, wait.
Big pen.
Dow Jones 50,000. Drink.
I ran out of beer. Adding to the dorm room feel about this.
There might be a gravity bong in the corner. You could try that.
So he has to say national security because he's trying to use IEPA, but that
Right.
already got struck
Claiming there was a
down. So
crisis.
we can stop pretending there was a crisis. Also, the crisis narrative is really strained by the fact that we're giving out national medals of freedom like candy to hockey players. Like, you're laughing, but this is sort of the problem, right? Is like their whole thing is everything's a crisis because that's your only legal justification for all this executive action. And when you've been in office for a year and there's still a crisis, you done fucked up. So
I mean,
you're stuck.
yeah, this is the real challenge of someone like, I mean, there are many challenges with him being president, but one is that he's trying, it's constantly a crisis and he's constantly saved everything.
Right.
Um, See the year 2020, for example.
So right. So it's like our country is like a constant episode of Scooby Doo or something. Um yeah, uh our audience members retains fond feelings for the doormate who called the Yellow Springs police to report his stolen weed. That is where's his Medal of Freedom?
That deserves a medal for him.
Donna Martin graduates.
Yeah. Meanwhile, John Roberts, looking old. I'm not judging, I'm just saying.
He's not that old. How old is he? 70?
Something like
In the Yeah, I mean in Congress, he gonna get carded.
that. Oh, I guess is he dissing the court now? So he didn't come out and call Supreme Court justices traitors. So I'm assuming he'll get a lot of praise now for today he became president.
Yep. Maybe, or maybe it's just coming. Is there an intermission?
Okay. That's an applause line. I love America. All right.
I totally forgot about JD Vance. Like, I'm writing a book about the vice presidency, and I literally forgot JD Vance existed for the entire length of this speech.
Really?
Well, yeah. All right, Biden
He's
again.
mentioned Joe Biden quite a bit.
I've thought about Biden more during this address than when Biden was the one giving the address.
Yes. He's clinging to the idea that we have undocumented immigrants from mental institutions, which almost certainly comes from asylum claims and him not understanding the distinction. But all right.
No, didn't someone come up with, like, fairly solid evidence of that connection? I think I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. What?
Sorry, I can't read the captions 'cause I'm rooting around for chapstick. Everyone's
He's
getting a
blaming
real
Democrats, I
name
think, for
something.
inflation or
Mm,
something.
mm. I mean, here's the thing, right? My understanding is the the post-COVID policies in 2021 were in combination with the, like, ongoing supply chain problems, that was
Mhm.
inflationary, right? It just
Sure.
was. But for someone if someone would just say, "Look, there were trade-offs, and we were really in kind of a shit situation, and this was the choice we made, and here were here were the disadvantages."
Mm.
But presidents can't do that. That's kind of been my observation since Jimmy Carter. He was very straightforward about that kind of thing and didn't go well. And since then, presidents have had a really hard time saying, sometimes difficult choices have to be made.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, and this is not unique to Trump, but like you blame the predecessor for everything. Everything was horrible and now everything's great.
Right. Trump is blunter about it and
Yeah.
doesn't have a lot else going on. I mean, I think that's sort of the thing is like he hasn't tried to come up with something other than this is all Biden's fault. And usually by this point in a new administration, they've tried. Whether or not they succeed is another matter. So I'm reading and not listening, which means I am not picking up on the fact that, as one of our readers is telling us, his speech is starting to slur.
Yeah, but he does that.
Oh, now he's going after Obama.
Sure.
Are you making another placard?
Yeah, I'm trying to produce some charts here for our audience.
Oh, we've gone the Ross Perot route. And she better healthcare. Oh, we're giving money directly to people to buy their own healthcare. Because what you really want. Oh, there's Raphael Warnock. He doesn't look sold. He doesn't look sold.
No.
What you really want when you're having a health crisis is to shop around. Also, the health insurance industry is gonna love that because one thing we learned is that the general health industry, we learned this with Obama and with Bill Clinton too, is what the healthcare industry loves is disruption, right? They love they love a major
Ain't get enough of
paradigm
that.
shift,
Yeah.
right?
So we're
Um,
almost an hour into this event, or at least an hour into our coverage of this event. He's still going.
well, as we pointed out, unlike pretty much everybody else here, he doesn't seem to actually have a day job. You pointed that out earlier in your Substack
Yes.
piece, about that Ezra Klein podcast is he has more time to make phone calls than anybody who has a job.
Yes. And he wanders around and he watches news and
Right. He doesn't have to learn new advising software or
So my impression of the speech so far, it's about 60% hockey, and we've had maybe 15% Biden and 25% borders by my estimation.
Um,
This is hardcore data. Okay.
yeah, you're a data journalist now. The data journalism textbooks are gonna the visualization textbooks are gonna talk about that for years.
Uh, what? Okay.
Big discount.
And it is big. Okay. So let's give her the Medal of Freedom for saving money on IVF drugs. That's great.
I mean,
Do you really want to be recognized at the State of the Union address for saying you're trying to get pregnant? I don't know.
right. I guess I don't have public opinion data on that off the top of my head. Right, like, some of these people look like were they told why they were being brought here?
I'm not sure. Trust me, it'll be great.
This'll be fun. Okay, let me do it. No, you're
Uh,
supposed to ask
we're up to,
Congress, "Why am I coaching him? Why am I coaching him?"
it's talking about AI energy demand. No, I don't. Hey, Michael Bennett, Colorado.
They can build their own power plants, okay. I feel like there's some technical knowledge about this that I don't possess, but I don't know that
Yeah.
Trump does either.
But again, to your point, he's not asking for Congress's help to lower the cost of electricity. He's just saying this happened and it's great.
Well, no, and he's gonna allow the companies to build their
Uh-oh.
own power grids or
So
something.
we're asleep here.
Oh, man.
So
Relatable.
sleepy. So sleepy. Oh, hello.
Smile. You're on candid camera. Yeah.
Uh, okay. Oh, he's asking Congress for something.
Okay, I'm looking at this
This
executive
is
order.
great. We want homes for people. What we want for people is homes.
Not for corporations.
So there's not a super specific ask.
No. Well, and I mean, I think this again is where it would be really useful to have a serious conversation about housing policy because my general understanding is that federal policy can, create incentives and create
Sure.
there obviously federal loans, stuff that comes out of the New Deal, but they can't exactly just, like, order people not to buy homes. I guess they could try, but, like,
Right.
what you know what I mean? Like, that has to get enforced through an agency, through existing statute and the capacity to enforce it. And this again is like Trump being like, "Well, I issued a decree." Like, well, you can
Yeah.
issue a decree, I can issue a decree.
Elizabeth Warren is trying to understand his policy requests.
Elizabeth Warren is like, "I had a plan for this."
So many plans.
Okay. I'm on the executive orders page, which keeps having these dumb pop-ups. "Welcome to the golden age." Bitch, I just wanna read things. Sorry.
Are they pop up ads? Yeah, I tried to.
No,
Yeah, the White House website is really annoying these days. And again, I don't know if that's all him, um, but it's
I'm gonna
gotten
guess he
very
didn't code it.
get very poppy. Yeah,
Right, this is a real yeah, it's very triggering if you were around in the '90s.
yeah. Oh, what's going on? He's dissing Pelosi now.
I mean, part of the shtick is always okay, I found it. So part of the shtick is always that the president says some stuff that the other party can't not stand up for, right?
Right.
That's one of the benefits of being president, is you get to do that. Okay.
Yeah, he's. Oh, he's going after Somalis in Minnesota now.
Oh, no. Okay, I read the executive order. It was issued on January 20th, and it's basically like all these different agencies should review
Right. Oh, he's
how the
just
policy.
empowered JD Vance to lead the war on fraud,
Hmm.
which I mean that writes itself. But okay.
My screen just says President JD Vance.
I'm jumping ahead of the script a little bit there. What? We'll balance our
Yeah, but
budget by going after fraud in the Somali community in Minneapolis.
the entire budget deficit is
Yes.
because of the childcare fraud in Minnesota. Little known fact. Cultures? Okay, cultures? That's a word that we said. That's a word that we said.
Huh? We are not playing games.
Hey, who's Delilah? I was reading the executive order. Ah, we're gonna do one of the immigrant crime
Um,
stories.
Oh yeah, here he's using a little girl to raise fears about undocumented immigrants.
Yeah. So, do you have any sense about whether this shtick actually works with like this whole thing about different, you know, stories about things that undocumented immigrants have done, which, as one of our commenters points out, is, these things are tragic, but also natural born citizens do these things as well.
Yeah.
Um, and it's kind of part of being human, unfortunately. And like, do we have any polling data that suggests that, or any research that suggests that this rhetorical strategy is effective, or is it just sort of base rallying, or like someone I remember in 2016 someone compared him talking about building the wall to kind of like playing Freebird. It's just kind of like what the I think that was Jody Avirgan at 538. And
Yeah.
like it kind of this also kind of feels like playing like the world's grimmest Freebird.
Yes. Yes. And I mean, we know he does that. And a lot of presidents sort of try to play with heartstrings, during State of the Union's address. What I guess the question is like, what would effectiveness look like, right? Like, would this actually change his polling numbers, or would it move legislation? Because obviously, like, he builds on these myths, right? He takes these stories and develops them to the point where he's like complaining about people eating cats and dogs. Um, who knows if that actually moves any votes? But maybe he thinks that just that turns out a certain percentage of base voters that otherwise wouldn't show up.
Yeah, maybe. Or it's, I do think that there was this moment where, oh, lying dead in a bathtub. Sorry, this took like a true crime podcast turn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
it's
bleeding.
grim.
Oh, good lord!
Um, this is the first time anyone's ever talked about stabbing in a State of the Union.
I think so. This
I
is
used
like
to link
running the
these,
Willie Harden ad during the State of the Union.
and I don't know if there's a better way to sum up American politics today. Um, so
I mean, this has been a long-standing theme of his that we have to stop. He's always been opposed to immigration, but he's saying we have to stop it because there are criminals involved.
right, so I'm looking up whether this is the first time someone has said this said the word stab in the State of the Union. When I
Hmm.
was not on video, I used to do this on 538 live blogs all the time. Like, is that the first time someone's ever said that in the State of the Union? Um,
I mean, guessing back at when the State of the Union was just a written address that presidents would send over, Andrew Jackson probably bragged about stabbing several people.
he didn't need to brag. Everybody knew. When you're Andrew Jackson, the
Right.
brag is,
Yeah, you don't have to
you know,
brag. Yeah.
it precedes you. Um, it's the threats to hanging. Okay, so the American Presidency Project turns up 0 records of the word stab in State of the Union addresses.
Well, that's an oversight.
Right, it's like it was just right there if you're not talking about stabbing people. I mean,
Mm.
again, like, I was kinda making a snark about true crime podcast, but it's not actually I think, like I think there's nothing there, you know?
There's
It
Joe
like
Neguse of Colorado right there. Yeah.
yeah, okay, fine. Stick
Mm.
to the facts. I'm going on a rant
No,
about
no, no,
crime
go
podcast.
work that.
I mean, I just think, like, this is a presidency that's drawn on a lot of forms of media we don't typically associate with, um, statesmanship, and why not true crime, although it's a very female-coded genre. There's a lot of interesting criticism about true crime, and I do think there is something about the way that this president talks about crime, and, like, notably, right, Willie Horton, that was, like, a little bit removed from George W. Bush or George H.W. Bush. He doesn't appear in the
Right,
ad,
right,
right?
right.
I've been thinking a lot about this. That person looks like I feel.
Who's sleepy
Oh, you're
guy?
doing the
Oh, that's
picking
Tom
of the
Swozy.
teeth.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, I'm terrible at recognizing people, but I don't watch that much TV, but the sort of, like, nodding and teeth picking had the, like, an academic senate feel, like, "Oh, we're voting again on this resolution. Not illegal aliens." Okay.
I didn't know I was on camera during the last faculty senate meeting.
Um, he's getting a lot of applause for saying "not illegal aliens," so he's saying it again.
And he's mocking the Democrats here, apparently, with weird facial
Right.
tics.
Um, hmm.
Yeah. They're giving him a heck of an applause. All right.
Okay, I'm reinstating my own State of the Union tradition, which is, restroom break
Okay.
and more beer at the hour mark because
No, that's a good call. I'll hold down the fort here, folks. Don't worry about it. What in the heck? Oh, okay. So he's going to war now with the Democrats. Republicans shouting USA while he says Democrats should be ashamed of themselves for not going more after sanctuary cities. Okay, so now he's getting into election stuff here, demanding voter ID. Now, of course, we've been over this many times. This is not an area of federal control. To show proof of citizenship in order to vote. That's so your driver's license doesn't have that. That would mean carrying your passport with you. Only 50% of the country has a passport.
what'd I miss?
He's demanding that voter ID for all elections. I was talking about the communist mayor of New York City now.
Mm.
He's making stuff up now.
Yeah, so earlier today, there was this paper circulating on Blue Sky where somebody was writing about voter ID and basically said, he spent a day. He went to the airport. He didn't have to show ID. You just have to do additional screening. He ordered a
Yeah.
beer at Chili's and didn't. If you know this paper, um, I it wasn't clear to me how he proved he was over 21 or if he just looks
Right.
old enough or whatnot. But and then he did a couple of other things, and he was like, "You actually, you know, we can use policy to build ways around this." So it's to
Yeah.
disprove this argument. It was interesting.
Yeah.
There's my congresswoman and alum of my department, Gwen.
No kidding. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Um. Um.
Okay. So now he's saying Democrats want to cheat in the elections. This is obviously a dangerous area. Him saying that Democrats only win when they cheat. Says they're cheating because they don't want proof of citizenship when people vote.
I mean, to be fair, haven't they caught a couple of voter fraud problems in Georgia, all of which stem back to Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Right? When
Yes.
he was sending people out, like, they do keep catching people, and
Yeah.
it's usually it's I mean, it's a negligible number of people, but it's
Right.
also
It's usually his allies when it happens. Yeah.
it's specifically coming out of these sorts of right-wing PAC schemes. Um, oh boy. Oh, we're
Oh,
getting
now
to the
he's going
trans
after the.
stuff.
Okay, going after trans people
I
now.
I would have poured a stronger drink. This is a spotted cow.
Yeah.
This is what people in Wisconsin drink when they're not drinking tonight.
Oh
Um,
my God. Now has a full right to liberty.
okay.
Wait, what was that clap?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure
Okay.
what
So this is a
that means.
series of culture grievances, is what's going on here.
Right. I mean, yes, that's correct. You've correctly identified the Trump administration. So, um, it's interesting. Um, yes, someone points out
Um,
Wisconsin spotted cow. This is very well enforced. A bar in Minneapolis or Minnesota somewhere got busted for having spotted cow. Can only buy it in Wisconsin.
mm,
Um,
now he's wants to ban gender transition for kids. Uh, He just called Democrats crazy.
yeah, I mean, the thing with these particular cultural grievances is these are legitimately alarming because I think that there is, there are ways in which these things land with normal people who don't pay a lot of attention, and they put Democrats in the position of having to defend things that when, like, decontextualized sound crazy,
Mhm.
and it's very hard to contextualize them. I actually think, Michael Hobbs of the various podcasts that he does has done a really interesting job contextualizing some of the stuff around gender transitions in, like, the I think he's done this, I don't know if his original work, but it's like how many people regret getting, like, a knee replacement. Apparently that's higher.
Right. Yeah.
Um, that and maybe people who follow this stuff know this, and it was all just news to me because I don't follow it, but, but it's hard, like, that's a lot of contextualization. Say, "Well, actually, lots of people regret knee replacements."
Yeah.
Um, very few people regret gender transitions, also very few people seek them, and
Right.
a smaller number end up receiving them and some in a surgical way. And so it puts Democrats in the defensive, and that really requires, I think, a very being on the defensive of that issue requires a very kind of finessed rhetorical approach that most Democrats do not possess. Um,
Mm.
and so that's concerning, as is the voter ID stuff, because like most people do support voter ID policies, which in a vacuum could be done in a way that isn't as bad as they are, but in practice, as you said, it's really to delegitimize elections, not actually to
Mhm.
change up voting practices. I'm sorry, I've made us miss the Melania thing with my rant, but I wanted to
I
point
don't
out
know.
that I think these particular cultural grievance issues are actually very dangerous as far as the way that the rhetoric lands.
Agreed. But now I have to go watch the Melania movie since you talked over
Do not pin that on me. I will not take responsibility for that. That is your choice. Your body, your choice.
it.
Okay. Lily asks us if there has been a previous discussion of gender transition in previous State of the Union addresses.
I
At
mean, I
some
would
point,
think
I think I
Trump would have brought it up. Yeah. Up. We're getting into the Kirk stuff now. Oh boy.
yeah,
Martyred.
yeah.
Erica is standing. But okay.
Is she getting the Congressional Medal of Freedom or the Presidential Medal?
I'm sure she'll get a medal. The vice president will go and put it on her.
Oh yeah, he's definitely trying to look serious.
Oh, he's saying to reject political violence of any kind. Meanwhile, he's been whipping up anger against undocumented immigrants and trans people, but okay.
Um, yeah, more wine sounds like the only solution at this point.
We love
Um,
religion. We love bringing it back.
who's we exactly?
It's coming back at levels no one thought possible, apparently.
How do you measure that? I thought I heard my cat, but I think she's not about to watch this. Okay, Democrats are pro-crime politicians, but we're going to end political violence.
Okay. Pet peeve. Watching a little bit of the pre-speech punditry and like the classic pre-speech punditry is always the president is unpopular. What does he need to do to be popular? I hate that question. The whole what does he need to do in his speech? Like, he's going to do what he's going to do. We've known pretty well that there's nothing he can do that's going to make him more popular during the speech, right?
So,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I was gonna no, it's fine. I have a lot of questions. I think I've
Yeah.
talked a lot, so I'm asking you questions. Do you
Okay.
hate it because the balance of political science research is that nothing to say in the State of the Union is gonna change anyone's mind, 'cause the only people watching it are nerds like us and our friends here? Or are you unhappy because you know that Trump in particular is not trying to be popular, or do you hate it for a different reason that I forgot?
It just seems more like it's a punditry thing that uh, it's like no one knows what to ask before an event happens, so they ask that. Um, and it's like, what does the president need to do to be seen as a nice guy and a positive economy? Well, obviously, we need a different universe for that. I mean, like, it's always, what if he were a different person? He's not. He's this person. Um,
Right.
and then there's the whole assumption that if he does what I say, then things will be different, and that's not going to happen.
Right, but even if
I
he
don't know what
wasn't a
I'm
pol
whining about exactly, but
that's okay. I'm gonna tell you what you're whining about.
okay, thank you.
That's what we're doing here, right? Um, I mean, because there's 2 things that are irritating, right? Is even if he did come out and he was like, "I've had an epiphany, I'm a different person, and we're a different universe, and we're not doing tariffs anymore," which I think would actually go a fair amount of a way to make people less irritated about, um, prices. Even if he did those things in a speech, it probably still wouldn't move public opinion.
Right,
So, that's annoying, but, like,
right,
that's a classic pundit political science disconnect.
right, right.
And it didn't used to be fundamentally threatening to democracy, at least. It might be now, but it is not in and of itself. I think the more annoying thing is the thing which I have been on one about since the weekend and listening to the Ezra Klein podcast, which is that these types of occasions seem to make people, like, pull back into their standard sets of questions. Was that sound you opening more liquor? Um,
Why would you say that?
uh, I just
It's a rough
it
speech, man.
took me a second to hear the noise, and I was like, "What is that noise? Should I be concerned?" No, I'm not concerned. Um, yeah,
Meanwhile, Donna
sorry.
Martin almost didn't graduate because she was drinking. I just thought we'd throw that in there.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I think you're a little bit older than Donna Martin was in that episode.
Yeah, but she and I are roughly the same age now.
That's true, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's true. Um, so right, so she now can drink and graduate from high school.
Yes, she's got it all.
I'm so confused. I'm so lost. I think my point is that of all the things we're safe from this evening, I think you underage drinking is is
No,
there.
I'm getting closer
Um,
to overage drinking.
exactly. Do you have a maximum age for drinking? Um, so, um, it's the normalization, right? Like, these are just prime opportunities for normalization. And I feel like the State of the Union is actually one of the worst culprits of the kind of tonight Trump became president horseshit.
Right, right.
And in that sense, like myself and my co-substacker Jonathan Bernstein, like I feel like we're like the last dorks of things like the State of the Union, and we love democratic, small d democratic, small r Republican pageantry. Um
Yeah,
And this has just sort of killed it for us because it's like it's not only that it's just not the pageant, it's not the absence of the pageantry, it's that it opens up this new opportunity for normalization.
demagoguery
And I
or
demagoguery, but also for for like the frames around it to be normalizing. And like that's a really
yeah.
bad combination, right? I hadn't thought about it in that way.
Mm. No, I think you're right. Yeah, and as with many other areas, the political media is largely existing in the previous model, right? They're acting like this is a place for a president to delineate an agenda, to ask Congress for things, and then pepper with illustrations occasionally of a few people, as opposed to
Right.
making this like a parade of people, um, and a parade of cultural grievances and threats and yeah. And we're still talking about what does he have to do to be popular?
Right. Exactly.
Mm.
Like that's like if that's the question you're asking,
Yeah.
then you have lost the plot, right? You have
Yeah.
lost the plot by refusing to accept that we're in a totally different
Yeah.
universe.
Also, Ed, it's
Uh,
not, and this is not just a Trump thing, it's not necessarily the president's job to be popular, right? I mean, popular is important. It's helpful to getting an agenda passed, but it's sometimes they're there to enact things that aren't necessarily popular, but they think are necessary. I think that, I don't know, it's just, it, the purpose of this event is not to make the president more popular.
right, but it's I mean, it's just sort of the horse racification of everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
that's a good point.
This would make a great blog post if I felt like writing right now.
Have a little more whiskey.
It usually helps.
Um, like, I
What are we
keep
talking
trying
about
to
now?
right, this is very similar to, like, when, like, I'm trying to phrase this in a delicate way. When one visits one's maybe potentially elderly relatives or parents, and it's like a barrage of stories about people you like kind of know, like, oh, this person
Right.
in church or this whatever, like so and so you went to high school with 30 years ago, and you're like, who did what? Who has a
Right. Why do I
baby?
care? Yeah.
Why do I care? This is what this speech feels like. It's like, here's Andrew. Here, blah blah blah. Did you hear what happened to Andrew? There was an illegal immigrant, and it sounds very
Oh god.
similar to like third
This
hand
guy's getting a
boomer gossip.
citation here.
He's getting a citation. Is he
Some
getting a?
medal.
Is he going to prom?
He's
Is he
getting
getting
a
a
Purple
blue heart?
Heart
It's called the Purple Heart. Thank you, Donald Trump.
and the military has to applaud that. All right. I should have paid more attention to this guy's story.
Should you have though?
Mm, I mean, is it
It's
ever
like that.
appropriate to pin? He's a civilian, yes.
I missed the beginning of this. He was attacked outside the White House, Lily says. Lily's paying attention. She's a better student than we are. But, like,
Oh, he just said he ended 8 wars.
Marco Rubio looks like his painkillers are wearing off.
He stopped war between Pakistan and India.
Okay.
He just pronounced it
His
Ethiopia. Eh, there's cousin Greg.
son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is gonna fix everything. He really fixed the Middle East in Trump's first term. That really
That was
worked.
awesome. Yeah.
Fixed. Fixed now. The little girl looks very tired. Rubio's like, "Oh,
Praising the
now it's
Secretary of
my turn."
State here. He is the entire cabinet.
Little Marco, if only you hadn't glitched out in that debate in 2016, probably nothing would be different, but
I mean, probably
can't get
nothing.
that out of my nothing, but I can't get that out of my head. Anyway.
But man, he really glitched out.
Right,
Like
like,
that's
it was so
it was a rare
I
moment.
thought I thought something had gone wrong with the feed.
Right. Right. Particularly with Chris Christie saying this guy's going to glitch out right now, and he glitched out. Like it was so weird.
Right. Right, yeah, to our, reader's point there about the Monty Python sketch, I feel like we're, like, really close to a dead
Yeah.
parrot coming out and getting some kind of award.
Yeah. Military looks pretty enthusiastic.
They're like, "Oh, no." Well, like, how many people what percentage of people in the chamber are thinking they're gonna have to clean up whatever mess he makes in this speech?
What do you mean?
Like,
Like
what percentage
answer questions about this
or answer questions, fix it, right? Like, um, I don't know, this was clear in my head a second ago. Like, I was thinking about the way the people in the military look, where, like, they're gonna have to sort of clean this up, right? They have to actually translate whatever he says into
yeah.
real orders. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, the president is the head of state, head of the government, and the things that they say are supposed to actually have some actual purchase, and someone has to translate the nonsense that Trump says into something real or ignore it entirely, right? Those are not neither of those are really appealing options.
I mean, but they've been doing it for 6 years, right?
Right, and
Yeah.
many of them, if they actually coordinated, could stop this, and they're not doing it, so
They don't do that. Yeah. I mean, not to bring it back to the hospital boat situation, but like
bring it back.
the moment he said that, everyone knew there was no hospital boat was going anywhere. Um, and all, the best they're going to say is like, well, we're working on it, and just
Right.
wait for the president to have a tantrum about something else, and reporters will ask questions about something else. It's just, you're not going to stay focused on it. But I don't think they're going to get held responsible for any of his ramblings right now.
Yeah, maybe not. And I mean, this is what you're describing is sort of like with apologies to Dan Dresner is sort of like the toddler in the grocery store model of governance, where it's like,
Sure.
oh, he'll be on something else in a couple of minutes. Um, really, after he's talked about going to war with Iran, which he hasn't, as far as I know. I was sort of expecting that to be more front and center. God, how many minutes are we at? Seriously,
Maybe
we're
it's
an
coming
hour and a half
soon. He's
in.
already talked about creating peace between Iran and Israel.
Right.
Oh, wait, he's mentioning Iran right now.
Oh, there we go.
He's claiming credit for getting rid of their nuclear program,
Okay.
which he
It's
apparently
gonna
also needs to do again now.
right, that's gonna hurt the justification for the war. Back to
Yes.
our point about crisis. You can only solve the crisis and fix the
Right.
crisis so many times. Or
Right.
can you? We have fixed term elections.
Oh, he's here he goes. He's getting into it now. Kings of the roadside bomb. Iran was the king of the roadside bomb, but he took out the father of the roadside bomb. I'd like to see the roadside bomb family tree right now. That would be really helpful.
Right, there's like an Oedipus vibe there somehow, maybe. I mean,
I,
you know who did make a deal about this?
yeah, and got them to say we won't make a nuclear weapon.
Right.
Anyway,
Well, it's kinda interesting because I feel like Trump thinks he can effectively, like, divide Iranian public opinion, and he's probably right.
mm,
Um, it with this sort of, like, defending the protesters type of thing, but that's not gonna get him anything, right? That's not gonna get
Right.
him anywhere, right? Like, it's sort of a I don't know if it's deliberately strategic, but it's like there is a sort of logic to that strategy, except there's no there aren't, um, millions of Iranian citizens who, like, live in swing states who are gonna get his successor elected or whatever, save him in the midterms, right? They're not gonna all vote in the Senate races, so, it doesn't what I mean? Like, it doesn't really make any sense. It's like he's sort of thinking about how we can divide groups of people and get some support among them, but he's not thinking very strategically about who those groups are.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, very few Americans, I think, were following this or care about this.
No, I mean they would if an attack starts, but for right now, it's more
Right.
bluster. Yeah.
Right. Well, and I think, I mean, some people were sort of following the protests, but I think getting Americans really
Mhm.
invested in that in a way
Anything
that
overseas.
translates.
Yeah.
Yeah. uh,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm half Iranian, and I was only half following it.
Well, the half seems appropriate then.
Exactly. I was sort of keeping. I mean, I was keeping an eye on it, but it's like, well, this thing is happening, and like it's the situation there's never good and there's never much you can do about it.
Oh, poor Nancy. She's so tired.
It's like, really? You're like, I ripped up your State of the Union once. Never forget that, fucker.
She's got to release the files pin on.
Wait, I missed the beginning of this.
Something about service members.
Yeah.
Oh, a warrior dividend.
Oh yeah, I remember
Uh,
the Warrior Dividend.
1700, 1776, of course.
You all right over there? You say
And explaining
1775?
how he came up with the number 1776.
The great troll would be if members of Congress would issue checks if the Democrats issued checks for 16, $19 and then just, like, had this infinite.
Good stuff. Yeah. Or
I'm
420.
just saying. There you go. Back to our friend's dorm mate selling computers on 420. Like, "Hey, the computers are
Computers.
sharper."
I'm gonna try some of my new Commodore 64. Uh, Karen's tapping out. Karen, thank you for your service tonight.
Um, Karen, we appreciate you. Get some sleep. We're gonna go shopping at one of these conferences. We deserve it.
All right. What does JD Vance have in front of him? It looks like a cocktail and he doesn't trust anyone, so he's got it covered. Am I right?
Or, like, a really big glass of water?
Maybe.
Right,
Oh,
it
wait.
looks like it has one of those.
We're going with fentanyl now. Okay.
Okay, fentanyl. It looks like it
Fentanyl's a.
has
Yeah.
one of those covers that, like, they have in the hotel room with the cover
Yeah.
on top.
Yeah. Little. Yeah.
He thinks someone at the State of the Union is gonna poison his water, or he thinks Trump's gonna drink it.
That's possible.
He's like, "Bitch, this is my water. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." That is my commentary. It's 20 years of studying political science.
There's just a lot of random applause for I can't even tell what they're applauding at this point.
Right, like, I kind of feel like again, I feel like this is, like, story hour about people you went to high school with one of your
Yeah.
elderly relatives. You never believe what an illegal immigrant did to Susie. Do you remember Susie? She married
Yeah.
Bobby. Oh, no, no, they're divorced, never mind. She married Timmy. And you're like,
Married
"What?"
Murray. He's in law school now. Remember him? Ah.
Exactly. I think he makes a lot of money. And you're like, "I'm sorry, I
Space
have to."
Force. We're getting a Space Force shout out. By the way, he moved Space Force out of Colorado because he felt like it.
'Cause you guys are a blue state?
Meanwhile, Tiffany's there. Don't we see
Yeah,
her?
Tiffany is yeah, Tiffany seems to have joined the family biz in this term.
And also Ivanka, by the way, almost never see her.
Yeah, I was a little surprised.
Uh, Liz, hey, get out of there, photographer. What are you doing? Are we're losing audience to fatigue? This is, I guess we got to hype people up.
Um,
Everyone do some calisthenics.
yeah, that is gonna fix it. You start. Why don't you lead us
Okay.
to
Ready,
calisthenics,
begin.
Dr. Basket? Put the whiskey down.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Oh, dear. Thank you for joining us, Ashley. Get some sleep. I know, this is ridiculous. We have a slight time zone advantage too, so that's
Yes. Yes.
if I wasn't in Central Time, there's no fucking way, like, I
Yeah.
would've lived
I'm out.
logged that in.
I'm one of the 50 people who live in the mountain time zone, so it's great. Yeah.
I've shared my thoughts about your time zone. Um, just like, why do we need another time zone? There's no need. It's too many time zones, but it does give you a nice advantage now.
Do we have too many time zones?
We probably have too few, right? But
Wait, what's going on out here?
I don't know. I feel like this speech has done something to my brain that now I'm ranting about time zones like a lunatic.
Dear Mr. President, there's too many time zones.
Right?
Please
Okay,
eliminate 3.
Lily is trying to smooth things over by making you feel good about your time zone. Lily, don't even.
It is. It's a very
Don't
pretty time zone, I've got to say.
don't praise his time zone. It's dumb. It screws up every Zoom call, and um, wait,
We're at
where's my left?
199 viewers. Let's see if we can get to 200.
Yeah, someone's really
Is,
gonna join us now.
is this on the Poly Markets?
Be
Someone's got to
like, you
bet
know
on this.
what? If you're not busy at 9:45 on a Tuesday night, there's two drunk political scientists rambling about time zones.
Oh, we're at 201. Boom. You said it couldn't happen.
It's a great political comeback. It's like the 2016 election, actually.
America's back, baby.
Uh-huh.
Wait, we're talking about warfighters and helicopters, dog tags.
This is a very militaristic speech in a way that I'm gonna, like, not be ready to deal with until tomorrow.
Mm.
In a way that, like, is, like, difficult to talk about, right? Because it's I mean, this is the way you do these things, right? This is the rhetorical strategy. It's very difficult for opposition to then pop in, and people are still joining us. People, I appreciate you, but I have questions. Um,
No, Hawaii's just coming online. Folks in Japan are waking up. They want to know what's going on.
yeah, they're gonna go back to bed. Um,
Welcome to other folks in unpopular time zones like me.
yeah. Um, oh wow,
Oh,
someone joined
okay.
us from the Bulwark live stream. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're not
that's
cursed with
right.
their large audience. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, we're not gonna freeze up. Yay, Mary McHugh is number 200. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you,
We love
Mary.
you. Um, but
He's
like
still talking about Maduro.
there's a serious civil military thing happening here, buried in this epic nonsense of like elderly parent, small town gossip. Is a civil military relations nightmare in which
Mm,
these two things are just irrevocably merged in a political space. And I think civil military relations experts will tell you this is not good. This is not the military being used as a
yeah.
it's always in the background, right? But that it's the sort of front and center in this speech in this way. This is a really, this is really problematic and not fitting of a constitutional republic. Here's a question. Did we see all the other Trump kids? Was Tiffany were Eric and Don Jr. there too?
Eric and Don Jr. are there. Yeah, I
They're the
think
ones
they're all
there?
present.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like they've all been a lot quieter in this administration, or maybe I just haven't been paying attention.
somewhat. But yes, all the acknowledged children are present. Who's coming in now? Oh, these are the okay.
Eric and Amy, they're in law school. Keep up. Red dress. Amy also kind of looks like she's like, what did I sign up for here?
I feel like next year members of Congress are going to get bumped so the president can have more guests.
Mm-hmm. The whole thing is just going to be families of people who were killed by illegal
Yeah,
immigrants.
yeah,
I'm sorry. That
and
was in poor
warriors.
taste.
Yeah,
Warriors.
it's not a surprise. The award is right next to him.
He's not looking like he's super thrilled. Like, I do wonder what percentage of people knew that this was all happening. Like, you have to actually kind of wonder if being featured in the State of the Union by name and face like this is changing people's lives in ways they don't want. Right? Isn't there some famous story about some photo of somebody that doesn't even include their name, but it kind of ruined their life?
Oh, I'm blanking on the details on that, but yes, you're right. But yeah, this makes people like internet celebrities or and he brings in a lot of people.
Mhm. Not all of I mean, I could be over interpreting, but not all of whom look like they totally thought this through or knew what they were getting into. Someone asked, could the Democrats not invite a State of the Union next year? And if it's a Democratic House, they absolutely could not. They could
Oh,
decide not to invite.
okay, that's
They
interesting. Just not have
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I mean,
Wow.
the Constitution says that the president should from time to time, update Congress on the State of the Union. The
Yeah,
idea that it's a speech is a
that's a 20th
convention
century
is
invention. Yeah.
very much. And yeah, Nancy Pelosi uninvited him in 2019 during the shutdown.
Mm,
Remember that? There was a bunch of
right.
back and forth, and I had written a piece in 538, and I think I referred to Nancy Pelosi's uninviting him as a norm violation because it sort of empirically was, and some person whose demographics I will leave to the imagination emailed me and told me this was phony baloney.
Were those the words used? Phony baloney?
Would I come up with that on my own?
No, you would not. Was this a very angry person from 1967?
Yes, I believe this person was beamed in from 1967. It was very funny, like, I could picture this person as I read the email. He was very upset that I
I mean,
suggested the
some of
Democrats
the
had violated a norm.
commenters are suggesting, I mean, are we now at a point where just the State of the Union just isn't serving any real value anymore? Or can other presidents still use it? I mean, I remember Joe Biden's State of the Unions. They weren't, I mean, they served some political purpose, but there was a lot of heckling. There was a lot of jeering. Um,
I mean, he had one, I think in '23 that was pretty, like, people were like, "Biden's back, and he's all energetic,"
right.
and but it
Right.
didn't
And that was important
didn't
for image, right? That was important for, for bolstering his political image, which is definitely some value, but I don't know. I'm
I mean,
tempted to
think
say
about
maybe
it.
the whole thing is sort of outlived its usefulness.
Right, well, because the spectacle isn't serving a small r Republican purpose.
Yeah.
And, like, could another president recapture the spectacle? I mean, I think that's the big question of, um of Trump in general is kind of like, what can be recaptured? And Biden was a very was a very unsatisfying answer to that. Um,
Right.
and now here we are again. And so like this I mean, this is kind of what I've been trying to get out with these all these posts about whether the American presidency is over. Um, and this is not making me feel less like it's over.
Uh, okay.
The other thing with that Biden speech in 2023 where everyone was so jazzed was like, whatever benefit that had lasted like 20 seconds.
Well, right. Right. Yeah. It resolved concerns about his age until the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like it didn't actually make him any younger.
Right.
Um,
Whereas his one debate made him like 50 years older.
right.
Yeah. You can only ratchet one direction apparently.
Yeah, no, fair. I feel like I was
Yeah.
just reading something you wrote about the debate, and that's a totally other topic for another day.
Mm.
Um, maybe it wasn't you, but
I think this is General Sherman who
from the Civil
stormed
War,
through. Yeah. Might be a later war. I'm not sure.
Atlanta. Um, sorry,
No,
need to
Trump
be
would not celebrate a
respectful.
Union soldier. What am I talking about?
That's fair. That army was, some of those troops were from Wisconsin.
I'm sorry, General Sherman soldiers
Mhm.
were mostly Wisconsin?
I don't know what percentage of them, but I know this from a colleague of mine who told me that he got heckled in Georgia for having Wisconsin plates and was told Sherman's army was from Wisconsin. In,
Okay.
like yeah, in, like, 1995. Um,
I should know this, but where's Sherman from?
don't know.
I'm going to
I
look
don't
that
even
up
know
now.
until there's me a quiz. Yeah, look this up. Yeah, don't you Google on your phone. Um, I don't know
No,
facts.
I think I broke Google. Oh,
I don't wanna know. I don't wanna know. Please don't screen share. What
okay,
about
I won't.
your
He's from Lancaster, Ohio, by the way.
Okay, one of our reader right, Ohio is always a good bet with these people.
Honestly, yeah. Back then, everyone was from Ohio.
Yeah, I don't know why that was, but, one of our readers points out, um, white
Mm.
dudes getting medals. That's a good
It's a
point.
lot of
And
that going on. Yeah.
this is a really good point about, about the Oscars because, like, this is a good juxtaposition with, like, what pop culture is doing, right? As pop culture gets more diverse and, you know, gender fluid and Bad Bunny is in the Super Bowl, right? And it's the most watched thing in the history of the world, and then you have this other sort of Lawrence Welkified approach to cultural production, and that's sort of what we're seeing here. Um, this is also a good question about what's the polling on how much young people care about these kinds of awards for veterans. I'm guessing young people are
Yeah.
not super psyched about any of this.
Wait, he's invoking Thomas Jefferson now.
All right, Lily,
This might be a wrap
this
up.
is your time.
Could this be a wrap up? A lot of taming and settling imagery going on.
Also very specific and it's
Very coded.
frontier
Yeah.
imagery. Yeah, very
Hmm.
coded. Wings of aluminum and steel to the stars and rocket. What?
There's rockets powered by sheer American will. Technically, there was fuel in there too, but whatever. Yeah.
Nope. Will.
Just pure will, compressed will. Akeem looks psyched.
Is this Look, he told his caucus no funny business. No throwing spitballs at the substitute teacher.
Yes. Yes. No auction signs.
Wait, do you have another sign? Did you draw anything else?
I should have. I haven't done one yet.
I want another cartoon. Please. Sorry, that was a little demanding. I can't see it.
What? It's Snoopy.
Oh, I like it. I don't know what it signifies, but that's a nice cartoon. Big Snoopy fan over here. The sun-kissed shores of Florida, the endless fields of the Dakotas. I mean,
This is
true.
shitty Woody
Like,
Guthrie right now.
historic streets of Philadelphia. Bruce Springsteen is gonna sue your ass. 76 has not ended. It has.
Fact check, it did end. Good night. Good Lord.
Is it over?
So, what have we learned?
Um, there's a lot of medals.
So, I remember reading a study. God, I think I was an undergrad at the time about where they looked at whether whether the military awarding more medals was good at motivating soldiers. And the takeaway is that actually when they give away more medals, it cheapens the value of each medal and is actually a bad motivator. And it's more motivating to give out fewer medals. Which brings me to tonight. He gave away a lot of medals.
Right.
He gave away, I need to look up what happened with that Purple Heart, but it was someone in civilian clothing, which I'm assuming is a major norm violation of some sort.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
In case it's not clear, I have no military service to my name.
no, me neither. How do they measure motivation?
So this was a study I read as an undergraduate 35 years ago, so I don't remember.
Sorry.
I
You
probably couldn't
remember
have
the study,
remembered
though?
2 days after reading it, so I don't know.
Well, it seemed like it had made an impression on you. I'm sorry.
It
Um,
did. It did. It's something that sticks in my head. But yeah, I wish I'd remembered the methodology as well.
I mean, I actually think the military is understudied, and, like, we have an ROTC program at Marquette. I don't know if you guys have one at
Mhm.
Denver.
You do.
But I get
Barely. But yeah.
like, a non-trivial number of ROTC students, and a lot of them are interested in studying the military, and I'm kinda like, "Well, we don't have a lot of public opinion studies, etcetera." It would be interesting to have, so it's something that periodically comes
Mm.
up. So I was interested in, like, how they would go about measuring that. "Oh, no, you're
Yeah.
tired, you're not gonna make it through the rebuttal."
Oh, no, I gotta be here for the rebuttal. Let's talk rebuttal for a second. I had
Oh, Christ, I forgot.
very
I
high
was an
hopes
undergraduate.
for Abigail Spanberger's political career until I heard she was getting the State of the Union rebuttal, which is a famous career killer, which is tragic. Maybe she can pull it off.
Well, but pulling it off in this case, like, the only thing you can hope for, I mean, the rebuttal is like so many things in American politics, right? It's like a vice presidency, it's like a debate, which is the only thing you can hope for is that you don't irrevocably fuck things up.
Right, right. Okay. Name a good rebuttal.
No, I'm not gonna name a good rebuttal. Even if there had been one, I'm not gonna name it. So, okay, I'm
Fred
trying to
Thompson. Fred
remember.
Thompson, 1995, I think.
Um, the Law& and Order guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember when you had to remind me that he was dead?
Yes, I remember that.
That was really traumatic for me. Um
You experienced his death twice. That was rough.
Yeah, that was rough. I mean, it wasn't your fault. It was just I had completely forgotten he was dead.
Look at him in the
Um,
light. Like he's got Boris Johnson hair at this point.
that is really upsetting. So, I don't know why I'm so emotionally invested in this, but I am. Um, so rebuttals. I don't remember Fred Thompson's rebuttal. You said 1995?
I think it was 95. I think it was when the Republicans first took over Congress.
Right. Okay. The only one that anyone remembers is Bobby Jindal's because it was such a trash fire in
Oh,
2010.
that was so wonderful. I enjoyed that one tremendously. And of course
And
Rubio with the water and Katie Britt with the kitchen.
right, and then there was Andy Bashir and the ketchup. He was in a diner, and, like, by the end of that, I wanted french fries so bad. I was, like, door
I'm not
dashing.
remembering that one.
It must have been 17. It was probably 2017 or 2018. I guess it would have to be 18 because 17 wasn't a State of the Union, although there's you can, have a rebuttal. The other thing about the rebuttal is, like, at one point, there were, like, 35 of them. Like, at one
Oh,
point.
right. Yeah, everyone needed their own special rebuttal.
Right, there was, like, the Democrats had a Spanish language one, and then the progressives,
Right.
yeah, it was, like, the height of. I should point out, though, I think that was 2019 or around then, right? The Democrats seemed super fragmented, and then they went on to win the election, so whatever.
Well, right. I would say the impact that these things have on elections has to be minimal to zero.
Yeah, but someone else pointed this out, and maybe it was you. Someone had a really smart comment about Spanberger, which is just like, you don't put your rising star in this position 'cause you're never going to win. So you should put somebody who's a nobody and just sort of like let it be. Um, this is another one of those American traditions that goes back to like 1967.
Right, right. And I've seen clips of Bill Clinton did it in the late '80s, as I recall, the rebuttal, and it was set to like there was Genesis music playing in the background. And it looks like if you see it now, it's incredibly low tech. Like it looks really cheesy. But again, he ends up president.
Right,
So
and all
yeah,
these people were being snarky about it. I mean, Andy Bashir may well end up president, right? Or was it
yeah,
his
it could
dad that
happen. Yeah,
gave the rebuttal? Now I don't remember, which isn't a great
that I
sign.
don't know.
Um,
Lily is
yeah,
making a
he's very
reference to Kennedy with chapstick on his lips, and I don't remember this one. Do you
yeah, I
know
don't either.
this? Okay.
Mm-mm. At some point, I did a deep dive about these, and that has flown out of my brain like a little bird. Um, the Senate the Senate website has I'm
Do
sorry.
go on.
You know, I appreciate your generosity, but maybe I shouldn't.
Our
So
numbers are
they
going
pulled
up,
that
by the way. We're still getting more viewers at this point.
really?
Yes.
'Cause
I'm assuming from
now
people in Canberra. I don't know.
now
Welcome.
we're
Welcome
just
to the podcast.
we're just Googling things. Um, um, yeah, so this response goes back to the '60s, or no,
Okay.
1970. Um,
And it's a regularized thing since then. Yes. They've been pretty constant.
yeah, they've been
And
pretty
sometimes
constant.
more than one, but like there's always been at least one.
Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, so there was a period in the late '70s and early '80s where people kind of played with the format, and so, like, there were some written ones. Reagan, did an economic message in 1981 instead of a State of the Union, traditionally is given when you've been in office for a year, and according to the Senate website, there was no Democratic response. Um, there's it looks like there were a couple different Democrats sort of experimented with the format in the '80s. I think this is further back than I looked when I was putting these
Mm.
together for 538. Um, 538 tragically seems to have archived our articles, but not the live blogs. Um,
Oh, that's a pity.
yeah, I still have some of I in case anyone is wondering, which I'm sure no one is, I still have some Word documents of things I compiled. One of my students asked me about divisive primaries the other day, and I'm like, I know I wrote about this. And I still had a
Mm.
little Word file that I had compiled the state of the literature as of 2016 on divisive primaries, and um
Mm.
it was useful for that particular context. Um, so yeah, and you probably remember the Clinton ones quite vividly. I don't. I kind of remember 95 was Christy Todd Whitman.
Yes. Oh, yes. Wait. Yeah, I'm remembering that now. And she did it in front of the New Jersey State Legislature, as I recall.
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember
Oh,
it that
we're going to Abby
exciting.
Spamberger here.
Already? Usually there's like 40 minutes. I haven't peed yet.
I don't know
Shoot.
what to tell you. Don't let this
Uh,
stop you. All right, here it's coming on now.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to. You're on your own.
We're going with pocketbook stuff. Costs are too high. Julie, I can't hear you. Are you muted?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I think the backdrop is pretty good.
Yes, I'm not clear who's in the room. Like these might be legislators?
That would make sense. I mean, I think a challenge that really anyone rebutting the State of the Union, but in this case, Democrats really have, um, is that if you're gonna go with the sort of pocketbook issues, it doesn't change very much, right? Like, you're saying the same thing because the same problems have been the same problems.
Right. And these are the exact same problems that existed in 2024, only Democrats were being blamed for them at the time.
Right.
And then you're just complaining about them because the president's unpopular because of them. And then when you get into office, they'll complain about you. Yeah.
Right. I mean, this is I'll give our audience a little preview, but I have this sort of post brewing in my head about, the kind of the civic failure that is thermostatic politics. That's like, if this is just what we're doing, where we're just
Yeah.
voting against an incumbent who hasn't solved the same problem, and it's the same problem regardless of who's in office, like, something has gone pretty badly wrong, and obviously you don't need a PhD in political science to realize that, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's worth saying because that's what political scientists that's just sort of what we say. Is like, "Well, politics is thermostatic," and I don't think anyone's really stepped back to say, "Well, this is a little
Politics
bit."
is thermostatic, but the economy seems to be static. Um,
Right.
like it's the same things that people are upset about year after year, and maybe we could get a boom or like a full blown recession, but we just haven't had either of those in a while.
Right.
It's just like ongoing grumpiness.
Yeah, yes, ongoing grumpiness is a good I mean, it does seem analogous to, um, the '70s.
Mm.
Um, alright, Lily says it was 2018, Joseph P. Kennedy responded to Trump and apparently had chapstick all over his lips. I don't remember this at all, and also
God, I don't remember
I'm
that.
about to
That's wild.
put more chapstick on my lips.
Yeah, I thought she
I
was
cannot
referring
rebut.
to Joe Kennedy Sr. back in like 1917 or something.
Right. Yeah, me too, I was like, "Shit, there's a historical State of the Union rebuttal I haven't exploited for a blog post." Wait, oh, right, she's on okay, trying to be serious now.
Benberger is CIA analyst. Is that correct?
I think so, she was
Yeah.
definitely in the security community before she was in Congress.
Okay.
She was one of the security Democrats, was pivotal for Trump's 2019 impeachment vote.
She helped secure the Red October submarine for our country. Much appreciated. Okay.
Oh, yeah, CIA officer. I mean, this is a tactically smart way to approach this because I think this is one of the weakest links in the MAGA coalition.
Foreign policy and forever wars that they hate. Yes.
Yeah, forever right. Well, forever wars that they hate, which makes them hate neocons, and neocons, I think, or whatever we want to call this, more traditional security Republicans hate a lot of the policies of this administration. And however this is being held together, I don't know, but I think it's a smart thing to press on.
Yeah, it's something that divides the Republican coalition. Another thing that divides the Republican coalition is Epstein. Obviously, Trump didn't mention that. I'm curious if she will.
Right. And that's I mean, that's such a really got my head around it either, and I haven't written about it, but it clearly has captured the country's imagination is not the right phrase, but
No, I get what you mean.
right, like it clearly it resonates with people in a bad way.
Yeah.
And I heard something
It's
no,
emotionally
well,
resonant.
yeah, well, this is not really about Abigail Spanberger's speech, but there she goes. Epstein files of crypto scams cozying up to foreign princes,
Hmm.
airplanes, and billionaires. I think, I mean,
This is good. Okay.
again, is this gonna move the overall needle of public opinion? No, but what it does
No.
is I think it presses at the margins of the coalition.
Yes. And also, like, we haven't seen too many attempts to have an actual message by the Democratic Party in the last year. This is an attempt at one.
Right. In a way, I mean, one of the things I think we've kind of both written about for the last decade is that overly poll focused, poll tested messaging has not been terribly successful. Like maybe
Hmm.
sometimes you just stand up for what's right and correct
Or try and
and
shape public opinion yourself rather than trying to meet it where it is.
right.
All right. She's praising Minnesota protesters here. Mm.
And the other thing about
This is
Spanberger
a
is
good line here. Mm.
sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I've talked plenty. That's a freebie. That's just right there for you. I mean, the thing I usually think of when I think of her is the freak out the day after the 2020 election about how people are talking too much about defunding the police.
Yes. An election that Democrats won.
Correct.
Yes. And they were panicking that they didn't win enough.
Right. And so an interesting question for me is like, is Spamberger sort of repositioning herself because she sees the wind of the party going a different direction, or is she sort of redefining what it is to be a moderate Democrat,
Mm.
which is to still be pretty moderate, but also to be like very partisan and also to be very focused on these sort of corruption issues. These are not extreme left issues to say the president is doing these things and they ought to be called out, right? That could be very sort of like a very argumentative partisan argument in
Mm.
a way, but it's not ideologically particularly far left.
No, these are not far left arguments. They are, I'd say, popular ones. She's articulating them pretty forcefully, I'd say. So, and pretty clearly. So arguably, this is an agenda setting for the Democrats.
I guess the thing is for me, I guess what I'm saying is a sort of combination of things that are combative, but also
Mhm.
fairly ideologically moderate or mainstream.
Well, there's always a question for me, like, is the progressive left, how far left are they, or are they just sort of framing democratic priorities in a more assertive way, in a more combative way?
Yeah, and certainly there's arguments out there from other political scientists about, like, that Bernie Sanders is basically just a New Deal Democrat, who
Yeah,
waved his hands around a lot. But otherwise, this wasn't especially what he was saying wasn't especially radical.
yeah.
For the next 250 years. Alright.
We're now 214 viewers. I think Perth is coming online now. Yep, that's that.
Very short.
Short,
We
short and
like that.
sweet.
We like that. We like that, Abigail Spanberger. You said what you had to say.
Well done. In and out. Boom.
Well, this has certainly been a night.
I would say so. And now it's time for our State of the Union.
Do you have a 2-hour address? Am I getting a medal?
I have so many medals. I got a closet full of medals I'm giving out.
I haul out my old speaking
You get a
trophy,
medal, and you get a medal.
1997. Um, it's gonna be epic. I mean, okay, what's your headline for the night?
That's a good question. Uh, More partisan posturing. Trump blames Democrats for everything, and has probably more guests to the State of the Union than ever before in history.
Okay,
It's an award. It's an award show.
yeah, it's an award show. Right. You
Yeah.
had a good headline early in the night, and I don't remember what it was, but it was good. Um, maybe someone
Damn.
else remembers. Um, yeah. I
Oh, I
think
did have
my
some good line
takeaway.
about cultural grievances. I can't remember what. Substack will produce a recording of this so we could rewatch our entire 2.5 hour feed if we want to. I don't recommend
Yeah,
that.
yeah, let's
What's
let's definitely do that.
what's your takeaway? What's your headline?
Area man makes spectacle boring. Um, I mean, I think that's sort of the thing is, like, there's this weird combination of spectacle and dull that's defining Trumpism now. Like,
Yeah, what's a spectacle when you get bored of it?
I mean, it's dangerous, right? Because it goes back to this normalizing thing. I'm sorry, I'm on this thing right now. I'm on this
Mm,
normalizing thing. I found it very
do it.
annoying in 2017, and now I've joined the bandwagon. Did you join a bandwagon? I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
doing it.
that's the only thing one can do with a bandwagon, I think.
Hop on the bandwagon.
Whatever.
Um, yeah, but, like, yeah, it's too late for metaphors. Um, but I think that's the thing is, like, if it dullness is actually is a really dangerous feature of authoritarianism, right?
Mhm.
And spectacle is a really dangerous feature of authoritarianism, and so it's this sort of intersection of those two things. And so, although I think this was a very dull and forgettable couple of hours of political rhetoric, it was it potentially, like, very dangerous as far as the Democratic and Republican small d, small r features functions a speech is supposed to perform.
Mhm. I can see what you mean.
So that's my takeaway. Will I remember any of this in the morning to write it? No. Um
No, I think we are gonna have to watch this whole thing over again.
I'm not going that
Um,
far.
yeah, but if people are gonna ask questions like, "Did this move any needles?" No, I don't. I think 0 needles were moved. This is the best you could say for Trump is that he did not have the Supreme Court arrested tonight. But otherwise, it was a lot of Just a lot of symbolic award giving, a lot of use of people to advance his goals, and a lot of insulting the Democrats.
Yeah, and not announcing going to war with Iran, which I know some people were
True,
expecting.
true. He set the stage. He talked about the dangers of Iran, but he did not commit to going to war with them. Um, so yeah, so again, we know nothing new about what he's going to do with Iran. I don't know if he knows what he's going to do with Iran. Um, but yeah, we're back in that situation.
Right, but he said
Um,
it's his sort yeah, go ahead, sorry,
well,
yeah.
what do we know more about his agenda for the coming year? Like, he did not ask from
Mm.
a whole lot from Congress, as you were pointing out. Um,
Right,
I don't know that he's changed much. Yeah.
there was, like, something in there, but no, mostly it was about awards and immigrants, and I mean, I think one thing we sort of know is that he intends to continue on with this voter fraud thing, and that's not exactly an agenda, but in this context is not exactly not one.
Right. Right. That is, yeah, obviously a big priority for him in an election year.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah. And stick around long enough, you'll get a medal. We've learned that.
right, now we know. So this is sort of like, yeah, the white Oscars, um, but and I know a couple of years ago there was this Oscars so white thing trending, so
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
but
And
still
it's,
but still, that's I mean, I think the takeaway for me, for anybody who's still inexplicably listening to us, is
we have
that
220 viewers at this point.
wow, that is
God
that
bless them all.
there's a re yeah, 100%. From the shining seas of Florida to the endless highways of the Dakotas. Um, so anyway, I'm sorry, I got carried away. The I do think there is some, like, real danger in the mundane nature of the way that Trump is communicating in the second term, and there's a real sort
Mm,
of danger in this, um, boredom and burying everybody in kind of boring spectacle,
hmm.
and particularly lurking in the civil military message in that speech. So I think this is a call not to be complacent about the authoritarian nature of this administration.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And I mean, we've seen so many of these from him at this point. It's hard for it not to become routine. Um,
Right.
and I guess that, in some ways that might, explain his declining popularity. That, we were kept wondering during his first term, when does this shtick wear off? We might be at that point. That it's not new at all. We know exactly what his speeches look like. This is it. This is what we get from him. Um, but yeah, as long as there's people to pin awards to, we'll be seeing more of this in the future. I don't know about you, but I'm wiped out.
Yeah, yeah, I
um,
think it's time to wind down.
I do want to thank everyone who tuned in. This was great. We had honestly, this is a way bigger audience than I expected. Thank you for being here. I hope you'll follow us on our regular Substack feeds. That's, of course, Good Politics, Bad Politics, where Julia is. I'm over at Tusk, and we welcome your support and your readership. We'll have more to say, and not tonight, but hopefully at some point soon. Um, Last thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think I said all the thoughts. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. This is way more people than I thought were gonna tune in for
Yes,
this.
even more. I expecting roughly the size of the hockey team, but we got more than that.
Yes, thank you for being our hockey team.
Yes,
Medals for all.
and okay, and I think that's a good night. How do we stop this thing? Okay, here we go. Good night.